right, you guys, we are on lesson 76 in your math books, page 485. So if you're not there, pause this and grab your book and be ready to work. Starting at the top with the new concept, and I want to review with you. We've done multi-step division, long division, but now it's just getting a little bit longer and you need to be a little more attentive to things. So I'm not going to read through the concepts with you. I'm actually going to work through the problems with you. So if you look at example 1, it is 794. Be neat in your writing. That's really important. Divided by 3. Okay. I want to remind you that what the first things you learned was to ask, can 3 go into 7? If 7 is smaller than 3, then you go to the next number. But since 7 is larger, yes, 3 can go into 7. It goes into it 2 times. Okay. And you do 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract. 7 minus 6, bring down your 9. And one thing you want to double check is when you get this answer, this 1 is less than 3. So then you know you're doing it well. You bring down your 9. 3 can go into 19 6 times. And you put it above that 9. Okay. 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract. 1 is less than 3. You're doing well. Bring down your 4. And 3 goes into 14 right here. 4 times 5 is too big. That would be 15. 3 times 4 is 12. And you have a remainder of 2. And it stops there. Okay. Now, the way you check yourself is you take your answer. And I have seen kids who just automatically just write down the answer, and that's not checking yourself. That's just taking a shortcut, and it may be wrong. So to really check yourself is to see if you did it correct. It's a challenge. So 4 times 3 is 12. Carry your 1. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 9. I put the 9 underneath the 6. Carry your 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So you have 792. Don't forget the 2 there. So then you add your remainder. And you did it correctly. Okay? Easy enough? All right. Well, let's turn the page. And then we move into dealing with money. You don't have to write down these problems. This is just going over it together. Looks like I need to spray it. So when you're dealing with money, it's the same thing, except for that you're dealing with the decimal point and dollar signs. Now, the important thing to remember on that is where you put your decimal point is really, really important. So kind of a new concept that you're learning here. Go ahead and copy you don't need to copy this problem down. Sorry. It's $8.40. I will put the dollar sign inside. Divided by 3. First thing I do before I do anything else is I move that decimal point straight up. It has to be straight. Okay? All right. There's a whole reason for it. So now we're going to look at the 8. 3 will go into 8 evenly. 8's larger. So it's 2 times, right? 3 times 2 is 6. So then we subtract. Okay. Bring down your 4. Okay. 3 goes into 24. 8 times, you put the 8 above that 4 that we brought down. 8 times 3 is 24. Whoa, look at that. Goes into a 0. What happens when you bring the 0 down? You can have 0 divided by 3. Okay, it's 0. 0 times 3 is 0. So you're good. It went into it evenly. The way you check it, don't forget to do your dollar signs. $2.80 times 3. So 0 times 3 is 0. 8 times 3, put it right down below. 24, carry your 2. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. Dollar sign, decimal point. Just like that. All right, you guys. Let's do the other example. And in just a moment, you're going to start on letter A through E, F. So example 3 says 490 divided by 7. Even though it shows it across, I still think at this point, you guys, you should probably do it this way. Now, the question you ask yourself, can 7 go into 4? Well, 4 is smaller than 7, so you actually need to use the 49. And it goes into it evenly, doesn't it? 7 times 7 is 49ers. You got a 0, so the same thing happens. 7 goes into 0 times. And that's your answer. Okay. All right, get your paper, have it headed. We're going to jump right in. So if you need to pause it to get prepared, go ahead and pause it. Now, letter A says copy the diagram at the right and name the 4 steps of the pencil and paper division. You know, that really is important to have that down. So I want you to go back to page 485 for letter A and copy this. Okay? Or pause this video and copy it from here. Okay. I'm going to assume you're ready to go on to B. And I know, you know, I'm moving fast, but you pause the video, okay? All right, letter B. 974. Remember, I do that down below. Divided by 4. All right, I'll walk through this one with you, and then I'm going to let you do the others on your own, and then you check with me to see if you got it correct. First thing we ask, can 4 go into 9? And the answer is yes. It can go into it 2 places. 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. We subtract. Bring down your 7. 4 goes into 17 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. Subtract. Bring down your last number, 14. 4 goes into 14 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract. And you have a remainder of 2. Now to correct it, my goodness, I'm just writing everything wrong. $243 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 1 is 17. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So we have 972, 974. Don't forget our remainder. And there you go. Good job. All right, while I'm erasing, I want you to copy down B. And do it, the way they wrote it. 1,512 divided by 6. Oh, I'm sorry. 974 divided by 4. We just did B. See, I get confused already. C, I want you to do it with the box, okay? So $, $7.95 divided by 5. First thing we do is put $signs in decimal points. Okay. Now, let's say that this was a 2 here. If this was a 2, you would have to deal with the 2 numbers and you would only have cents. But 7 is larger than 5, right? So 5 goes into 7. Yep, 1 time. 1 times 5 is 5. Subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. Do not worry about bringing the decimal point down. It doesn't do anything except for get moved up. Bring your 9 down, however. 5 goes into 29. 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 9 minus 5 is 4. Bring down your 5. And 5 goes into 45 9 times. Goes into it evenly. Okay. Let's prove it out. 9 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 4 is 29. 5 times 1 plus 1 is 7. I'm going to show you the decimal later. So you've got 795, 795. Oh, it's time. So instead of bringing it directly down like adding, we don't do that. We actually count the numbers behind the decimal place. 1, 2. 1, 2. And yes, you are correct. That's something you're going to learn a little bit later. All right, let me make sure I'm getting the right one this time. So now we're on to D, which is 1,512 divided by 6. While I'm erasing, you go ahead and start. Did you get the same answer I did? Let's see if we did it correctly. Six times 2 is 12. 31. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. It is correct. Very good. All right, you guys, go ahead and go on to E while I erase. Solve it. Watch out for the decimal place. Remember what I told you about money and decimal places. Now, the first thing you should have done was bring up your decimal place and your $sign. If you didn't do that, then you've got to listen to what I tell you a little more carefully because it is very important, okay? All right, so 8 does not go into 5, it goes into 50. 8 times 6 is, 6 times 8 is 48. Now I know 2 is smaller than 8, so we're good, but you got to bring down the 0. Forty goes into 80, or it goes into 40 5 times. So your answer is $6.25. Let's prove it out. Okay, here we go. 5 times 8 is 40. 16, 20. 48 plus 2 is 50. Count over 1, 2, 1, 2. $50. Okay, very good. My time might be running out, so if it goes out, you're going to have to figure this out on your own, okay? Read letter F. And it says altogether 878 people attended 3 showings. So the numbers you're going to use for division is 878 divided by 3. Go ahead and start on that. Now, the story problem says, about how many, what's a reasonable estimate. So you could have done it this way. I didn't read it carefully. You could have left it at 292 and just ignore that. You could have also done 900 divided by 3, which when you get to here, you can just bring your zeros up. Okay. So it's those numbers are reasonable. And of course, the word behind it is people. All right. I don't have your assignment in front of me, but do careful work. And we will see you tomorrow. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay. Bye-bye.